What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today I have for you guys some knives that I would definitely consider if you are in the market for a new EDC knife. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. And before you head out, hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it, guys. So to kick this one off with, we're going to start with the Ved Thunderbird. This thing is coming in M390. We have a PVD coated harpoon style drop point dual ground tanto blade. This thing is pretty cool looking. We do have that Japanese style tanto here. It's a very hidden point, but there is a secondary point right there, and then it is dual ground. I believe a hollow that runs into a flat there, and it's definitely a unique looking blade, and it's nice, but because we have that lower tip, so it's going to make this thing easy for index type cuts and precise type cuts, but you can also get right up behind that edge for more controlled type cuts. We do have a fuller that runs into a cutout. We have a front and rear flipper, which Ved is definitely known for their multi-deploying option folding knives. We're sporting the button lock Trek lock from Ved. We have some beautiful blue and black Damascus. I love the contrast with the black blade hardware and the blue and black Damascus. It looks really, really clean, really good. I like this version quite a bit. And then we have a lower mounted deep carry pocket clip, and it has been recessed, and the screws have been recessed as well. They also include tooling for left hand carry and a filler tab. Great job on Ved's part. The Ved Thunderbird is definitely one to consider. So this is another one that I've been really high on lately. This is the Trivisa Columbo. And for the money, this has been a very impressive knife. We have a satin finished 14C 28N drop point style of blade. We have a cutout, but it's not all the way through, and I think that gives it a very cool aesthetic, and it has a different finish in there, so it gives it kind of a contrast. We have a nice little swedge here going to the tip. We have a little row of jimping. I would have loved to have seen that ran out here, but definitely not a deal breaker. And along with that cutout, we have a rear flipper tab. Pretty snappy detent. Could it be stronger? For me, depending on which deployment method we're talking about, the thumb and the reverse flick are solid. It could be a little stronger for that flipper tab, and but that's also not a deal breaker. This is definitely a knife that I would buy again. It's solid for the most part. And then we have a nice micarta handle here. Definitely a little different than I've seen before, but it's got some texture. It's got some smoothness, and it has some grip. I love that they keep the show side of the blade nice and clean. It is going to be a fingerprint magnet though, with that bright satin finish. I love how they keep it clean. They just have their logo there on the pivot. And then we have great access with a chamfer and jimping on that liner. Easy to disengage, easy to get to. Then we have a sleek, minimal deep carry clip here. It's going to be reversible. I would have loved to have seen a filler tab there, but at $50-ish, I will take this all day. It's a great size as well. This is not a small knife by any stretch of the imagination. Definitely a good size, and I think a very good value. Next up, we have the Concept Whim. This is probably my favorite concept that I have ever checked out. We have a harpoon style sheep's foot, satin finished S35 VN with dual thumb studs. We have a titanium exposed frame lock, but we also have some beautiful carbon fiber as the secondary handle material. It is going to be on both sides, which is a very nice touch. Everything has been nicely softened down. The detent is absolutely phenomenal on this thing. It is really snappy, a nice controlled shake shut style of knife here. And then we have a very clean titanium pocket clip. We also have a titanium backspacer. This thing is awesome, guys. I can't tell you how much I really like this knife. Very comfortable in hand, great utilitarian blade shape, nice little lanyard hole back there, matches the pocket clip, kind of a cutout, and then it kind of matches, it looks cool. And then we have some contrast here with the pivot collars. I believe those are brass no, those are some sort of like antiqued copper, maybe. I'm not 100% sure what that is. Might be brass, actually. Either way, it looks very good. This is a Jonathan Styles design, and he has a bunch of designs I really have liked over the last year, and this is my favorite concept to date. No question about it. Big fan of this knife. So this one, in my opinion, is an absolute no-brainer. 100% worth picking up. If you're a collector, or if you're looking for your next knife, either one, it doesn't matter. The Migon Vona here, and this is the smaller version, but it's not actually that small, coming in with a 3.5-inch blade. So this is technically just average size. The original Vona is over 9 inches. So this being the smaller version just means this is more of the regular size. So we have a beautiful satin finish drop point blade coming in 14C. We have a nice fuller here, crown spine, and then we also have a rear flipper tab. The detent on this thing is nice and snappy. We do have textured G10 handles. We also have a milled titanium pocket clip. Clean show side on the blade there. You just have the Migon emblem there on the pivot. We also have a matching G10 backspacer. And then we have satin liners and hardware. It just has a very nice contrast with that blade. The satin finish looks good. This is definitely a good size for an EDC knife. Going to be in a lot of people's wheelhouses, and this knife comes in like right around the $50 price point, which is absolutely insane for 14C, a milled clip, textured G10, this size, this type of build. In my opinion, it is a no-brainer, and they include tooling for left-hand carry. Just an awesome design and an awesome value coming from Migon. So this is one we showed the unboxing for the other day. This one's coming in from Schrade. Now, this is not going to be their USA line, I don't believe. They do have some more affordable knives in their USA line, but this is going to be coming in at a very affordable price tag. And I think at the price tag, I think this is a solid knife if you are in that $30 to $50 range or so. This has a satin finished harpoon drop point style blade. It's going to be coming in AUS 8. AUS 8 is a fine steel. It's not a super steel. You know, it's not a crazy steel, but it's a fine steel. Going to get the job done, and there's no way around it. The people who dog on certain steels just are either steel snobs, or they actually have no clue what they're talking about, if they were to be honest with you. AUS 8 is a fine steel, especially at this price point. There is absolutely no issue with it coming from me. AUS 10A is also a very fine steel. That is why Cold Steel uses it. That's why Kubey uses it. And a plethora of other companies are using AUS 10 now. We do have dual thumb studs for deployment. We have a crossbar lock, and Schrade does the crossbar lock pretty damn well. I have several of their crossbar locking knives at this point, and they have all been very solid. Good springs, easy to get to the lock itself, easy to disengage. Just a solid inexpensive knife all the way around. And then we have a lower mounted pocket clip here, kind of that Benchmade style, if you will, with the 3 Torx and the way it's set up. You could probably easily find an aftermarket clip for this if you wanted to go that route. And then this is also going to be tooled for lefties to carry this, which is another nice touch. A lefty can get in on a very inexpensive knife and be able to carry this the way he or she wants. We have open construction with 2 standoffs there, little lanyard hole. I think this is a solid knife, and my hopes are that Schrade continues this comeback. They continue, moving in the right direction, making corrections, and bringing more designs at a good value. We should all be hoping for that, because the more knives on the market, it's the better for us. More competition brings better builds, better materials, better prices. So it's just a good thing all around, especially if Schrade is doing well. And that is my hope. I hope they continue to head down the right path, and it seems they are on that right path. They definitely have some work to do, but I think they are headed down the right road. This next one up has really won me over. This is the Kaiser OBK, coming with a PVD coated 154 cm drop point style blade. We do have dual thumb studs for deployment. I just really like this blade shape. Do I like it better than the drop bear? I don't know. I think it would depend on the day. They are, they're both. The drop bear is kind of a spear point, drop point, where this is kind of your prototypical drop point. And then you also have the Escort, which is just a little bigger with a, slightly different blade shape. Then the Task is a sheep's foot. But this really is nice, guys. It's going to depend on the size of your hand, because it's going to it's very neutral after this area here. But if you have really big hands, I think XL, you'll be fine. I can get a full grip on here. Is it extremely comfortable? I'm kind of off there a little bit, but nothing to cry about, and it is a little bit of a smaller knife. It's similar size as the drop bear is and the Task, but it's just got a different designed handle. So it's going to put you in a little bit of a different spot when it comes to the ergonomics. Now we have Kaiser's typical steel rollover clip here. It's not going to be recessed, but the screws are. Plenty of room in there to get it in and out of the pocket. Now, this is, a knife where it's not going to be ambidextrous carry. I don't know. Typically, they, like the Task, that had the option for ambidextrous carry. I'm not sure why they didn't go that route with this one, but, it's an affordable price. It is an easy carry. We have some nicely finished aluminum handles here. So it's going to make this fairly nice and lightweight. Clutch lock is spot on as usual. I really like this knife. Had they told this for left-hand carry, and I'm not lefty, and before I started making videos, I wouldn't have cared about that, but it is something I care about for my viewers who are left-handed. It's something I have to point out. Now, if you're a righty, this means nothing to you. But if you are a lefty, and you like switching the pocket clip over, this is not going to be the knife for you. Now, if you're a lefty and you're used to carrying the knives righty no matter what, then this knife will be just fine. But I think the companies who, and I can't say the companies like Kaiser does it all the time, but the designs that don't offer a left-hand option, especially when it's an ambidextrous knife, I just think they're really missing out on a nice chunk of the knife market. But that is probably up to the designer or the company or both. So, you know, they choose not to make this left-hand friendly. I'm not sure why. I think it's a big mistake. But all in all, I think this is a nice design and would make a solid little EDC knife. You'll have to let me know down below what you think of these 6 knives. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple new videos. Go check one of them out, and I will catch you on the next one.